happy to have you today. You're welcome to this week's episode of Faith Formation. And once again, we are on the subject maximizing potentials. And I will be introducing our special, very special guest today. But right before that, you want to ensure that somebody sitting with you and viewing with you, somebody is doing that. You can share the link, you can drop us a comment, and you can subscribe also to the channel. So ensure you're dropping the comment, ensure you're liking. And I want to take you through, and I want you to just bless the Lord with a word of prayer and say, Lord, speak to me today. We are going to be impacted once again. It's a very rare opportunity that you don't want to miss. So ensure somebody is with you and ensure that you're ready to get blessed also. Without further ado, I want to introduce my very special guest. And this guest is so special to us in different ways. It's no other person than Ms. Zering. She is a registrar of Union American University. She is also wearing several hats, which I would want us to hear from her soon. So you're very welcome, Ms. Zering.
Thank you, Jude.
Happy to have you on the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm pretty well, and I should thank you that you let me to share my experience with your friends. I'm very happy that I'm here.
Great. We are also happy to have you. We're going to be having wonderful discussion. We want to know.
I'm sure we will.
We want to know you also. Most of our viewers will be viewing for the first time and will be seeing you for the first time. Some of them are your students, but they'll be hearing you for the first time. So tell us something about you that we need to know.
Well, where shall I start?
Let's start from your family, your background. How did you grow up?
Okay, let me quick summarize my background. I was born in Nicosia, which is before the war. So they're gonna find out my age, but it's okay.
So the war was in 1974. No, 1963.
The war was 1974, you were right.
74.
I was born in 1971 actually. And when I was 3 years old, after the war, my family moved to the Kyrenia. So I grew up in Kyrenia. So I'm pure Cypriot. And I went to my primary school in Girne, which is the local government primary school. And then I continue my high school in Girne as well, which is Anafartalar High School. It's a government school. You guys are very lucky in those days because you have more options. In our days, we had only one high school. We didn't have another options, private or this and that. So we had to push ourselves too much. If you want to study in Turkey or somewhere else in the world, you have to do it yourself. So your generation, you are very lucky.
We're indeed very lucky, and we're happy to have. The theme is maximizing potentials.
Yes.
And I want to take you through from that background until as much as
until now. Okay.
Now.
He wants to hold my background. Okay. That's fine. I finished my high school when I was almost 18 because we used to go to the primary school 6 years that time. So I finished high school 18 and then I joined the central exam of the Turkey and I was planning to be a journalist actually.
Wow.
That was my dream. And then actually this is the part of the theme. When you are 18, 17 or 19, you don't really know what you want to do. And then you get affected by the others. What is the popular that time, okay?
Yes.
And I gave up from the journalism and then I won the exam, but my brother decided not to send me to Turkey because the place that I won, it was the most conservative place. And he didn't want me to send me over there on my own. And then I got really upset with my brother. And 1 year, I haven't done anything. I started working at one of the shops in Girne. And I used to sell my very famous brand shoes and everything. I was a sales manager.
Wow.
Because I was upset with my brother. I decided to be a sales manager. I worked there for a year. And then after that, I saved up my money. I went to the UK to visit my other brother.
you sponsored yourself?
Yes, I did. Because I lost my parents when I was 12,
Wow.
and then I used to get my dad's pension money, and that pension money used to be paid to me as long as I'm studying.
Right.
So if you stop studying, they don't pay
You
you.
cannot, so you have to study.
Yeah, so I was sponsor of myself. So I went to visit my brother in UK, and I went for a shopping on my own. I didn't ask anyone. I saw one language school. I said, okay, let me go and ask them how much it will cost. And I realized that it wasn't that bad. I can afford it. I didn't ask anyone. I just registered myself. I went there for June and I registered for myself for September.
Right.
And then I
What
shared
language were you studying? Just language.
just language, because you have to get, that time you used to get Great Cambridge certificate to be able to join the university. So now this is like a TOEFL or IELTS, but that time, they still do the Great Cambridge actually, but that was on exam that time. And then I shared with my brother in UK. He got happy because, and my brothers got happy here as well, because he knows that I was gonna stay with my brother, so everyone was happy. So I started studying. That's the main part. I finished the language school. What am I gonna study? I changed my mind with the journalism, which it was my dream. Whole secondary school and the high school.
Was there somebody you wanted to be? Was there a
Yeah,
popular
I want to be a
journalist?
very popular journalist,
Right.
and I want to go to the. If there's anything happens in the all over the world, I want to be there. That was my dream.
Right.
And then I changed my mind because that time the IT program became very popular. And I said, okay, I'm gonna study IT, but I never thought about it. And now I realized that when you are very young, you don't know what you really want actually. So you have to, the first step, you have to listen to yourself first, not what the other does. Because everyone's got different talent. We all were born with the different talents,
Yes.
but the main topic, how are you gonna use this talent? Some people can use it perfectly. Some people takes time. Some people, they don't care it at all. So what I did, I made a mistake. I studied IT, and then I finished. Then I didn't want to come back.
The IT you studied, was it what you wanted or
I-
peer pressure?
No. I just got affected by the others because it was very popular that time. And then I realized I found myself doing the programs, writing the programs all the time. And I was telling you before, if you missed one comma, it takes you hours or days to find out where is this bloody comma. The program doesn't work. If you are really want to be scientist and you really want to be in that business, it's a lovely job. You can enjoy it. But for me, I'm more hyperactive person. I need more action. Something more makes me feel. I need something more challenging.
Right.
And and then I didn't want to come back for some private reasons. So I finished the school. I had to come back because the immigration pushing me. And I decided to join the PA course for a year, personal assistant course. I did that course. I enjoyed that course actually. I enjoyed my IT as well, but I didn't know when I come back to the Cyprus, no one's dealing with the technology. What I'm gonna do? And the technology upgrades itself in every 3 months. So if you don't upgrade your knowledge, what's the point?
No point.
Exactly. And I stayed another year, and then with that PA certificate, that was great Cambridge course as well. I came to the Cyprus. I finished it, and then I didn't even join my graduation ceremony, guys, because I was really homesick. And the day I finished that certificate program, the following night I was in the island. And I didn't join my graduation ceremony, nothing. And then the God gave me a job. I'm doing the graduation
For thousands.
thousands every year, and I get more emotional than they are. I really get emotional because I really proud of them, and then I realized that I never joined my graduation. So every year I joined the graduation ceremony later in JAU though. Then I came back to the Cyprus, and my auntie told me that they're looking for a PA in GAU. After 3 days, I came and I was waiting for my suitcases to come to Cyprus by ferry, because I came with the plane and I stayed in UK about 5 years, and I sent all my packages with the ferry, and I was waiting for my packages. When they told me they're looking for a PA at the GAU, I said, okay, I just go for an interview. And the interview took 26 years, guys. I'm still working. I started as a PA of the rector.
Wow.
That was my first job at the GAU.
Wow. And maybe the first since you returned, since after your bachelor's. This was the
And
first.
the GAU, when I just started at the GAU, they just moved to this new buildings, because their campus was somewhere else, and they moved to this new campus, and I just started. And I was PA of the rector, Memduh Bey and Sehat Bey. I was doing the PA job for 3 of them, whole the management. That's how I started. And when I started working at the GAU, I realized what I want, because I listened to myself. I didn't listen to anyone else. Normally, you have to analyze your feelings. This is not only connected with education, guys, actually, with about everything. You have to analyze yourself perfectly. And you guys, as I told you, is much luckier than us, because you have, at the high school, you have counselors, you can go and then find out, and if you feel down, we have psychologs everywhere, we can go and share with them. So these days, everything is much easier, but in that time, we used to get confused a lot. And we didn't know anyone to go and ask, what shall I do?
Yeah.
So when I started GAU, I was arguing with law faculty dean. But I was...
Were you registered at that time?
No. I was
That
only
a
PA.
Right.
I was still young and PA.
You still had a lot of power as a PA. The PA to the...
I was PA of the
top
management. So I was just discussing something with the law faculty dean. And our board of trustees, Memduh Bey, was listening to us, and he was laughing actually. After we were agreed and everything was okay, he told me, Zerin, what did you study? I said to him, I did study IT. He said to me, why didn't you study law? I said to him, He said to me, think about it. I said to him, I never thought about this. And the law faculty dean, it was, God bless him, I missed him, and I heard that he passed away. Dr. Shell, he was from United States. He told me, Zerin, you are a good fighter. You have to be a lawyer.
Right.
And I told them, okay, I will think about it. And then I was 30 years old, guys, when I start analyzing myself properly. What Zerin wants, what is more challenging for Zerin, what is your aim, what is your goals. So I decided to study, and then I was very lucky because the law faculty courses at that time, they used to do it after 5, because some of the most popular lawyers used to come and teach us as well. So they used to shut their office and then used to come here. So I did study law, and that I really enjoyed. So I'm a GAU graduate. And I did organize my graduation ceremony.
You organized your graduation
And they called my name. I didn't hear because I was too busy with other graduates.
So now you didn't graduate in UK, you arranged your own graduation.
Yes, I arranged my own graduation. When they announced my name, I was too busy with other graduates trying to put them in right order. So that was good. You might ask me why I'm not practicing in law, because I love my job, guys. And I always keep telling my new student candidates, please pick a subject that when you graduate, after your graduation, you have to enjoy your job, okay? okay? And I have been working GAU last 26 years, which is more than your age.
For the man, for the most.
But every morning I get up and I come to my office with a very good feeling. I love my job.
Right.
So imagine other way around. You get up and you keep mourning. Oh God, who's gonna go to the office? Who's gonna take care of this and that? If you're in that position, you cannot do that job and you cannot be successful. Why am I not practicing in law? Because in Cyprus there's not any challenging cases for me. If I will be a lawyer, maybe I can divorce everyone, or 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 maybe there's so many famous and very good lawyers, so they can do their job. But I enjoy my studies, so I love my job. Maybe I always thought that law degree really helped me to change my ideas about my aims, actually, because I really enjoyed it, and that gave me a good way to know what Zerim wants. But Zerim first wants to be journalist, then she went to the study IT, and then she came to Cyprus. That time no one was following up the technology. And I realized that only 1 year PA certificate helped me to find this job.
Right. After studying IT for 4 or 5
Well,
years.
of course they checked my undergraduate when I was the IT human resource. Of course they checked everything, but because of that PA, because they were looking for a professional PA, and then that certificate supports my application.
Right, but it took you 30 years, or maybe less, because for the most part you were still young.
Yes.
But it took you quite a while to discover
Exactly.
this.
Because
Why do you think that is?
Because I didn't know we were in such a small island, and we didn't have internet to search everything. We didn't have anything. We just used to go to the high school, and we did our lectures. We used to ask them, what shall we study? And then they were telling you, you can be an engineer, you can be architecture, and you can be this and that. That's it.
So you asked your lecturers what they think of you.
Exactly.
Right.
If you ask my lecturers, everyone remembers me because I was very popular when I was in high school.
Actually, it's tough. It's difficult for you to be somewhere and you would not be popular.
Because I was a local, everyone used to know each other. And the
You're
Kyrenia
very
wasn't that
active.
big at the moment.
Right.
And I was very hyperactive and active as well, yeah.
Right. I mean, for our viewers, this is actually point taken. It took you a while. Do you ever think that your IT was a waste at some point? Did you think you wasted
It
time?
wasn't waste, but I wish I picked law from the beginning, yes, because I really enjoyed it. And sometimes I get the major changing forms, and I see a student, he comes for the graphic design, and all of a sudden he wants to be engineer. And sometimes I tell them I would like to see them, because this is a very radical change. Like if you want to be graphic designer, you have to be talented by drawing or imagination. I cannot draw. I cannot even draw one line. So I cannot be a graphic designer.
Were there certain things that you were doing as a young child, that you still think is in line with what you are doing today?
No.
Or that was helpful?
Maybe, but I worked since 12 to the 18. I used to work during the summer holidays, so that made me feel more confident, maybe. But still, I didn't make the right decision when I was 18.
Right. And to our viewers, sometimes what you are engaged in or what you are doing, the vocation that you have, might necessarily not be what you want to do, but it can be the precursor. It can lead you to something that you want to do. And this is what we've taken from our guest story, actually.
So you have to analyze yourself. No one knows better than you. So if you're talented by the architecture, drawing, you will be ending up drawing all night, not someone else.
Right. At what point have you felt, I think I'm lost of my life? Maybe, I mean, were you at some point not sure of what you are going to do with your life? Was there a point like
Good
that?
question. Only once. When I graduated, I come to the Cyprus.
And you ask yourself,
I
what next?
thought that I was done. I didn't know what I'm gonna do because I stayed in UK 5 years. I came here. First day I was looking for the zebra crossing to cross the road.
There wasn't zebra crossing.
Now they have. They didn't have any. They didn't have any. I worried a lot because I didn't know what am I gonna do in the future. But it didn't. I was very lucky. I only stayed 3 days. On the 4th day, I was at the GU.
Right, that's great.
And the time goes like that.
And now it's 26 years. How have you moved from PA to registrar? Director of admissions.
I was PA. Actually, I was PA of the admission director first for 2 months. That was my first step. And then they told me they're gonna move my position to the PA of the administration side. So I started in 1996 as a PA of the admission, and after that I was a PA of the Memduh Bey, Serhat Bey and director until 2002. In 2002, I was the deputy of the admission director, deputy manager, until 2006. In 2006, I became director of admission and registrar until now.
Right, from 2006. Maybe the oldest registrar.
I think I'm the oldest one. Yes, I am.
On the island.
Yes,
Yes,
I am actually. I am the oldest one.
Wow, so it's an honor to have the oldest registrar on in the whole of the island. Also, it's a pleasant one. With this, your life, apart from your academics, was there anything that you can identify in your life as a potential from a younger age, apart from academic pursuit? What do you think were the special abilities you had?
Exactly. I realized that when I went to the UK for holiday with my brother and I decided to find the language school, I realized my potential that if I want something and if I put my effort on it, I can do it. That's why I didn't ask anyone, I just went and I registered. And I have another funny story. I went to the language school, I paid, I registered in June, and in September I went there again and to get my timetable and started. And I realized the whole school is Greek Cypriot. I'm the only Turkish.
Wow.
And because the owner of the language school was the Greek Cypriot, and most probably he was doing his marketing in Greek side, and he used to get the students from there.
Right.
And then everyone started looking at me like I'm the alien. And the manager of the language school called me to his office, and he offered me to give me my money back if I disturbed or if I feel bad. And if I'm disturbed, they are happy to give my money back, and I can go and find another language school.
Was it that bad?
I get really annoyed.
Right.
I said, why? Do you have a nationality, specific nationality in the school? You only get the students from the Greek? Because when I registered, they asked me, where you come from? I said, I'm from Cyprus. And they registered me. They didn't ask me which part. And then I got really angry. That was really upsetting for me. And I realized that as well. That was my potential. I said, if they are disturbed by me, they can withdraw. I'm here. I'm not going.
You're here to stay.
I'm staying.
You had the tenacity in you.
I'm not bothered. I said, I don't mind. I'm just going to come to my class, listen to I used to work. I used to go to the school from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock to the 11 o'clock night. I used to go to the factory and work to get my pocket money and support for my school fee. And then the manager realized that the tough character, he said, okay.
Right.
That was very rude, very, very rude.
Sure.
Very rude. And I didn't have any problem. all the Greek Cypriots became one of my best. I still see them, some of them.
As your best friend.
They are my best friends.
Now we learned tenacity. I mean, you are very strong on what you want. Whatever you want, you go and you get
Yeah,
it.
but I realized that when I finished the high school, if I want something, and if I put my effort, you have to try, guys. If you
Yes.
don't try, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
How maybe you fail, but maybe you win.
Yes.
So don't keep it still. Keep pushing. That's more dangerous.
What is the greatest challenge you have come about?
Greatest challenge. Actually, I'm workaholic, as you know. So my challenging is more with my I think most of them with my business actually.
Right. I'm trying to look at your transition. You were doing certain things as a little child. You mentioned you were working.
Yes.
Any business side in you? Do you think you are also a business oriented
No, I
person?
cannot be a business lady. I'm too honest.
So is business not for honest people?
No, I'm only joking. I'm more academic person actually.
Right.
I'm more academic.
Do you love to teach? Do you see yourself teaching people how to do
Yeah, I
stuff?
love. Okay, of course, I love to teach, but I don't have time for that. I love to teach, and I think it's the great feeling to share your knowledge with someone else. I'm sure you know that as
Yes.
well. You experience that every day, and I like the academic side more. I cannot be a business lady. I can bargain. I can fight for it.
Yes.
No problem.
Negotiation skills, perfect.
Negotiation is negotiation is perfect. Yes, it's true, but business is not for me. I'm more office lady.
Yeah, and the office type of lady.
Yes.
And have you wondered maybe from at the time you found what you found your lane, you found your passion. Have you tried to do something else apart from your passion?
The only thing that I regret that I haven't done it, while you following up your goals actually, and you fight for it, you have to get your hobbies, and you have to do it together. If you are a student, for my opinion, I wasn't like that. I wish I was, but now I realize that if you are a student or if you work in somewhere else, you have to have something private for yourself, some hobbies. Maybe you go to the swimming, or maybe you go to the another, I don't know, there's hundreds of hobbies where you have to pick something. That helps your aims as well actually. I never had the time for that because I'm always very busy.
Till now you're very busy. I know.
I have a graduation ceremony next month. I'm very busy.
Very busy. Okay. Thank you so much, our guests and our viewers. You can always send in your questions. Let us know which question you want to ask our wonderful guest. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. We want to extract the best that we can get from her. If possible, we can say we want to take every juice we can get from you. You are like lemonade now. We're trying to squeeze. You're the lemon.
I'm happy to share my experience.
Right.
With a great pleasure, guys.
Right. So we will soon go on a short break, and when we return, we shall be asking our guests wonderful questions. Ensure that somebody is watching with you.
So we're giving you a time to prepare the questions.
And she's ready. Throw any life. I'm sure for the time I've known you, you've been a very tough person in handling challenges as well. And sometimes I wonder if you have breakdowns in handling your challenges. But somehow you are able to wake up on the challenge.
Actually, of course, everyone can have a breakdown, but the life still goes on.
Yes.
So I'm not kind of character to sit down and feeling that, oh, I'm upset. I have to fight for it
Right.
because I grew up in that way.
Right. I'm going to talk about your accident and your surgery also, just after the break. And you don't want to miss it also. Ensure somebody is liking with you, is watching with you, and they're also subscribing also. We shall be right back just after the break, and we continue with our guests. Yes, Soja.
Okay.
On the matter.
So I have a 10 minutes break. Can I have a
and feeling so defeated, not knowing your grace was there, feeling unworthy of your love, but it's found me, and now I can say I am more than the punishment. I am who you say I am. I am more than victorious by your grace. I am who you say I am. I am loved. I am chosen. I'm transformed. I'm the apple of His eyes. I live in Him. He lives in me. I'm a child of God. A child of God. I am who you say I am. I am more than victorious by your grace. I am who you say I am. More than the punishment. I am who you say I am. More than victorious by your grace. I am who you say I
So many times the devil tries to deceive us believers, and he presents our past mistakes and situations that Christ has already forgotten, and he makes us feel guilty and makes us bow to his judgment, forgetting who we are as sons of God, and forgetting what the Bible says in the book of Galatians chapter 3 verse 13, that Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. For it is written, curses everyone who is hung upon a pole. And this means that because I believe in Jesus Christ, every time I couldn't meet up with the law, Christ became cursed in my place, so I can be redeemed. And believer, redemption is sweet. I promise you, redemption is sweet, especially when you know who the Redeemer is. Child of God, get up. You have been forgiven, you have been liberated, you have been set free. Hallelujah.
I am forgiven. I'm redeemed. I am who you say I am. I'm liberated. I am free. I'm free. I am who you say I am. I am forgiven.
else is watching with you also. Welcome back from the break. We are discussing maximizing your potentials, and that is because we believe that you have a potential in you and you can maximize it. And we have a wonderful guest that we introduced before the break. We have Ms. Ellen. She is currently registrar at the Gilder American University, and we are happy to have her. If you've missed any part of the discussion, ensure you go back and watch the discussion or listen to the discussion that we've had so far. And I have a question I want to also throw to you.
Okay.
Do you stretch to achieve the potentials, to maximize your potentials? Do you really stretch yourself?
Yeah, of course you need to stretch yourself because
many times my generation believe there's an easy way to do stuff.
yeah, but sometimes you have to push yourself because if you always pick the easy way, you won't be successful sometimes. So, what I believe, when we were kids, what they taught us to respect others.
Right.
So you have to respect yourself as well
Right.
at the same time.
Right.
And then if you have your own respect to the others as well, you have to push yourself at the end. You have to go to the top level there as much as you can.
So you must stretch yourself. You must reach your limit in order to achieve your goals and to do the things that you want to do. Before we went on the break, I was going to ask our guest. You had surgery not too long.
Yes, 6 months ago.
And the reason I wanted to ask you is because right after the surgery, you were in the office after a couple of days or weeks.
No, actually, it was weeks.
Weeks.
But I did work when I was at home because I did my meetings, online meetings, and the documents used to come to my house every day. And that was about 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, I got my stick and I came to the
Back to
work.
the office.
Yes, I came back to the office and I parked my car just front of the main building because I couldn't walk. And they helped me to get out with my stick. And one of our driver, he has been working very long time with us as well. When he saw me start crying with the stick, and that was very emotional. I said to him, "Why are you crying for?" He said to me, "You are with this." I said, "Okay, I just had the operation. It will take time, but I will be walking. Don't worry."
Right.
And
I mean, to think that you're at home and you're still receiving papers to sign. What were you thinking when you were back home that you couldn't come to the office? What was in your mind?
I am control freak person, Jude. I was calling them and checking everything, my mails and everything. And I was at home, first time in my life
To stay at home for...
to stay home 3 weeks.
How about COVID? What were you doing during the COVID?
With the COVID, the same thing. They used to send me my documents with the escalator, and I used to take it from the escalator.
Wow.
So I was still working, but that was really... The COVID wasn't that bad because it was only a week. But my operation, because I couldn't walk properly, 3 weeks at home, it was like a nightmare for me. But thanks to God, it's over.
Great. Thank God that I wish you speedy recovery also.
Yeah, I'm much better now.
Great, that's good. We have questions from our audience, and one of the questions is, what are your success habits?
My success habits, actually, I'm at the work for my success. I'm very perfectionist, and I'm expecting everyone to react like me. The first thing that if you're working as a admin people, don't think like that. Try. I was thinking like that, but you have to guide them to think like that. You have to guide the people because, as I told you before, everyone's got different talent.
Right.
Some people can understand one sentences.
Yes.
Some people can understand in 5 sentences.
Yeah.
But with the life experience, you learn that.
Right, and you've worked with several people, in your capacity. Many people have worked with you, under you.
Yes, under my deputy, yes. I have assistants and I have a very good team. I'm very happy with them. And I always trying to teach them as much as I can because that's very important for their future as well.
Right. I've also noticed that many people who worked under you and with you stayed with you for a longer period of time.
Yeah, because
Why?
Good question, because we work like a big team, and actually sometimes you have to collaborate with the other people as well, because you can go to the success easily with the teamwork. So I respect my team and they respect me, and we became very good family, like a GAU family altogether actually.
Right.
So it's true. I don't change. Normally, my stuff doesn't change very easily.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them work with you for several years.
Yes, more than 10 years.
More than 10
More
years.
than 10 years.
And there must be something about you that always want them to.
I'm very strict manager, but they know why I'm strict for, so they respect it, and I respect them as well.
Great.
And I try to guide them. I try to teach them to be able to achieve their job as well. So we're working together nicely.
Right, great. So in maximizing your potentials, you also have to be able to guide other people, and you've helped people to achieve their own. To realize what their potential also. And one of them, which is a father to me, calls you mommy. I'm talking about Professor Sampson.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the first day he started calling me mommy.
Right.
It's nice to work in the university, guys, because you're touching so many people's
Yes.
lives.
Right.
Sometimes a student comes and they keep telling you, I don't know what to do, or I want to withdraw. And I keep when I talk to them, they change their mind,
minds.
and they graduate and they become very good businessmen or very good architect.
Right.
And then when you see this kind of cases, you feel like, wow, you keep touching your the people's life. And working with the young dynamism is good as well.
Right. It helps you update yourself.
Exactly. And when they're happy, I'm happy. If they have a problem, I deal that with my own problem as well. That's
Right.
another thing.
Right. We have going to read some comments also from our viewers. Dr. Acheme worked with you. He's talking about his wonderful experience also.
Did he make comment as well?
Yes,
That's very nice of him.
And several others are making comments.
My
also.
best regards from here to Dr. Sampson.
Right. Dr. Acheme also mentioned his comment also. And
I miss you, Acheme.
right.
He has to come and visit me.
Sure, he's coming. I'm sure he got your message also. And looking at all of this, what makes you happy? What is a success to you?
As I told you for the first session as well, the thing is that makes you happy to come to your work in a happy mood, because you're doing something, you're creating something, and then that makes you to feel fully satisfied, and that makes you feel happy.
Right. Because in my generation, we have thank God it's Friday kind of people. We are waiting
Well,
for the
sometimes
weekend.
I do tell that thanks it's Friday, because you get tired. It's normal. It's a human psychology. You need a break sometimes. We all need it.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you like your job, for example, if you're an engineer, you finish the program, or if you're architecture, you finish your house plan, and then everyone loves it, would you feel? You feel fully satisfied, and then that makes you feel fully confident and happy.
On a bad day, what calms you down?
But they
Yeah.
well, with
What do you do?
with the life experience,
Right.
Jude, you learn after 40 years, you learn that to control your temper firstly, and then if I had a very bad day, I go home and I find a good book to read it, because that's the only way to make me feel to clear out my brain. Because when you're working like my job, I don't get physically tired because I'm sitting down all day long.
Right.
But
Mentally,
mentally,
yeah.
if I see 100 students, I have 100 cases in my mind.
Right.
And then if there's some conflict, I have to find out and sort it out, or find the solution. That makes you feel worried about it. And then reading a book is the best thing for me.
Right. I want to receive more questions also from our audience, but I want you to advise two categories of people. The first, it's somebody who is starting life to discover their potential. How can they really manage and maximize? First, how can they discover?
Actually, I think it's depending on the parents, Jude. how they brought up their kids. My parents brought me up with the fully confident character. I was very lucky, and I think your parents gives you that power firstly, and then you start realizing what is my potential, what do I need to do, or what shall I do, what makes me happy. You start asking yourself. But the first step is your family, how they brought you up.
Right.
If your family keeps leaving you at the side and not to take care of you, how can you feel confident in yourself? How can you maximize your potential?
Right. But for someone who has not really enjoyed family, what advice can you give him? We have audience, some part of our audience, some of them grew up in different kind of backgrounds. So somebody who has not enjoyed his family
They can
privilege.
find their own strengths. They can train themselves.
Right.
We have a power, guys. We have to learn to use it.
Yes. So you can do a self-training for yourself.
Exactly.
You can do. So
You're right. Some of us not very lucky, but I was very lucky. Even though I lost my parents when I was kid.
And how was that? Could you really relate to the experience being a kid? Although you were 12, so you could really understand.
Yeah. Well, that was the, I think, worst time in my life because it's really hard. It was a trauma for me, but life still goes on, and you have to be on your feet, stand up, and fight for it.
Right. Have you failed before? Yes.
Of course.
Tell us something that makes you feel in the past that you have failed.
Well, in the past, I think I failed one of the exams, which was very disappointed for me. I lost my dad, and after a month, I joined the central exam in Cyprus to go to the private government college, which the teaching language was only English. That was only school in Lefkoşa, and I couldn't join the exam. I went, I sat down. I only took half an hour. After that, I said I gave up, and I just left.
It's interesting to hear that you said you gave up, but you are the fighting.
Yeah, but
person.
I was only 12. I gave up, and when I was going to the UK university, I used to go to the exam and do the exam as much as I can, but I never pushed myself. But when I came back and I was more mature and start studying law, I used to get C, D, all the grades when I used to in UK. But here, if I get B, I used to get really disappointed. How can I get B?
At what point did you just start thinking like that?
Because you became more perfectionist.
Right.
Because you are mature. You know how to. When you are 18, you go home. You don't need to study. You just chill out with your friends, go to the pub or go to the cinema, enjoy yourself. But when you're at a certain age, you know your responsibility is more. So your priority is different than when you're 17. So I didn't really like the idea to getting a low grades. Before, I never cared. If I get this, okay, it's a passing grade. Passing grade was enough. But when you became a mature student, you have to be high honor students. Not honor, high honor.
High honor students.
But I didn't manage to be a high honor. I was only honor. My CGPA was 3.31.
Yeah, it's a good CGPA.
It was good enough
for
me.
you as a perfectionist. And this is a challenge also. You've challenged some of our audience. You can get better at the stuff that you are doing. Remember, seest thou a man diligent, he shall stand before kings and not common men. That's the saying. Let me say it again, the same thing I said. It says if you see somebody diligent doing the things that they would do, they will stand before kings and not ordinary people. Do you understand the statement?
Yes.
If you see somebody diligent in what they do, they will stand before kings and queens, but not common people. How do you relate to that statement? That means when somebody is good with what they do, they are going to stand in front and sit with big people, high level people, not with commoners.
I don't really understand this logic.
If you see somebody doing the things that they do very well,
Okay.
they are always going to find themselves among great people, but not ordinary people. That means with good work, you climb the ladder of success, and you will be.
I never categorize the people.
Right.
For me, we are all in the same level. But some people, they push their luck and they get their challenges before than the others, and then they quickly step up the other levels. The others still pushing it. So that's how I see it.
Right. So don't delay your move.
Exactly.
Don't delay your move. You can catch
And
it.
don't keep it still. Just keep pushing.
Would you say you started young? And what was the advantage, or what is the advantage of starting early in life? Would you see yourself as somebody who started early?
Well,
Be
actually,
yourself.
each age has got different challenges, Jude. When you are a kid, you have to enjoy your kidness. When you are a teenager, you have to be a proper teenager.
Yes.
So when you are 40 years old, you cannot be a teenager.
No.
So each age has got different abilities. But when you're in that age, you have to know your responsibilities as well. If you know your responsibilities, and then if you go for it, your potential aims, you will be successful. But if you don't care about anything, you won't be successful at any age. It doesn't matter.
Right. The second advice I want to give to our audience is for someone who feels he has failed and they are behind based on their own personal time.
Okay, not to be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Everyone can fail. I failed. Everyone can fail, but that doesn't mean end of the world. You have to. The life's still going, and you have to go for your aims, and you have to keep pushing it.
Right. All right. Yeah, I'm sure.
The continuous effort. Continuous effort is actually the right word.
Continuous effort. Yeah, I'm sure this is productive and wonderful for our guests. Let us know your questions, and the team can also help me if we have questions from our guests. Let's quickly get the questions from our guests. Okay, I think we have questions. I'm going to see if I will read one or two questions for our guests. Okay, I can't see the questions. Maybe I can have it from our team. I'm unable to. Okay, I have one question. It says, what do you do when you are under pressure at work? I think we've answered this question already.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I've asked
When
you.
I go home, I just keep myself with my books.
Yeah. So I have another question for you, and the question is, considering you've gone through higher education a couple of times, are there any special study habits that enable you to be successful academically?
Good question, actually. Face-to-face education is very important.
Right.
I was successful. Why? Because I was listening everything in the class, but everything, and used to get my own notes. I never go home and try to get notes on study and go for it. I used to get my own notes, and then whatever my professor used to say, I used to get the older notes. But face-to-face education is very important,
Right.
because if you want to ask something, you ask straight away. How with online education, we get used to it now, actually. Maybe you're okay with that, but discipline is very important for me.
Right.
So I used to study around every day, maybe 1 hour, but not hours and hours. So if you do this every daily, during the exam week, you just all of a sudden realize that you're ready for that exam. You go through everything once, you say, okay, I have been through this long time ago, and then when you're reading it, you're just refreshing your brain.
Yeah, I can relate to that. For me, if I'm in the class, it helps me. If I miss the class, I'm 50% down.
Me
But
too.
if I'm in
Me
class,
too. Me too.
It's a very helpful one. Okay, I think these are the questions that we have from our audience. Thank you so much for participating, and thank you for your questions also. And I would want our guests to give us a final note just before we leave. What will be your final note to our audience? And
Sure. I hope all the audience and all my students find out their right program and graduate and will be very successful, and they can go after their potentials. And then I hope they will be very lucky like me that I'm loving my job, and they can find a job with the good teamwork,
right.
and then they will be successful. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank
Jude.
you so much. One question from me.
Sure.
And the question is, what is your motto in your life principle? What principle do you work with that keeps you going?
Keeps me going.
Yeah.
Good question, actually. I never asked this question to myself. I think I'm very organized. I have to For example, today I go home and in my mind, I have to organize everything for tomorrow. And I don't write it down. I do fix to-do list. But if I don't organize the following day, I cannot sleep. So I have to know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, step by step.
So you're a planner. You plan.
I'm a good planner. I'm a good planner.
Yeah. You plan your events. I'm sure this has been of great blessing to all of you, our viewers. Please let us know how that has helped you also. And as we try to bring it this way close, remember 100 Days Evidence of Prayer today at 10 p.m. and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we shall be joining for spiritual formation at 6 p.m. just in the campus, GAU campus if you're not Cyprus. And if you're viewing online, you can ensure you follow the link and be subscribed to the YouTube page, CCE Ministries also. Thank you so much, and we know that something is stirring up inside of you and that your potential is being maximized, and we know that your potential will come to full maturity as God helps you in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much once again, our dear guests, Mr. Nguler. It's a pleasure also for me meeting you. I think it's around 10 to 12 years now, or no, 9-10 years that I've come to know you.
Really? Is
I
it
know
that
you
long?
before you know me, you know. Of course, as your student, we will know you even before you
At
know.
least if they don't know me, they know my name actually sometimes. It's true.
Yes.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
it's a pleasure. Thank you once again.
Thank you as well. It was a great pleasure for me.
Great. And have a wonderful evening, our viewers, and God bless you.